I'm new to Harry Potter, only seeing the films like maybe a year ago, and even then I still haven't seen all of them. I didn't grow up with Harry Potter, not because it wasn't around, because it was around, but my parents decided I couldn't watch it because of witchcraft. I think my parents just kind of said no to anything they didn't fucking understand. Of course that didn't stop me with a lot of things, but for some reason Harry Potter I just wasn't interested in. But now that I am getting into it, recently I wanted to dive into the world of Harry Potter. Because I really like the world. The characters to me are kinda but like the world is really cool. So I've decided to play some of the games and dive into that world. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone / the Philosopher's Stone is a PlayStation 1 game, different from the other games with the same name. Starting off, we see Dumbledore, and he's kind of a weirdo.
Nitwit, blubber, oddment, tweak, 4 wonderful words, don't you think?
Another really cool thing is there are paintings on the wall, and some of them can talk and be opened if you know the password. You get the passwords by collecting specific colors and amounts of beans for Fred and George. The game takes place at Hogwarts, so getting to explore that is really cool. You can also collect info on famous witches and wizards to learn more about the history of the world. Ron tells you Draco stole your owl.
Hey Harry, remember me, Ron Weasley? That slimy Slytherin Draco Malfoy ran through this door with an owl under his arm.
Well, 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 if it isn't the famous Harry Potter. I'm Draco Malfoy, and you do well to show me respect.
The platforming doesn't require button inputs, just running towards things. I suppose like Assassin's Creed. And again, I really like this touch of the paintings all over. The combat is mainly casting the spell Flipendo, and killing enemies can give you house points. It's always like 5. We get our owl, we get a broomstick, and Madam Hooch teaches us how to be a seeker, which in this game is flying through hoops fast and gabbing the seeker. The gameplay is kinda all over, you never know what's gonna come next. It's an interesting way to make a game. It's sort of like mini games, the game.
Hi Harry, have you met Hermione yet? She's a real know-it-all, and a teacher's pet.
No, I am not.
Hello Harry, Charms class is about to start. Isn't it exciting? She's rather annoying, isn't she?
This scene is amazing because she didn't even say anything, really. Now might be a good time to talk about how bad the cutscenes are.
Trapped in a big scary castle, eh? Oh dear, I think Potter is going to cry. Ow! Time for a lesson, Potter. Let me teach you about wizard crackers.
Wizard crackers? What the fuck kind of racist shit is that? Oh. Firecrackers, but from wizards, gotcha. Anyway, we fight Draco Malfoy and his friends, and it's so amazing.
Crab, take care of this upstart. Now, Potter, I'll give you a taste of my super wizard crackers. You're supposed to protect me. Goyle, get in here. Now we'll show this twit who the real wizards are.
Health is collected by chocolate frogs and potions, and magic is endless. You learn other spells than Flipendo, but they're all context sensitive, and only work at the spots the game wants you to use them. Now, your house points are totaled up every now and then, but I'm pretty sure you will always lose, and the BS ending of Dumbledore awarding more house points will always happen at the very end of the game. So don't worry if you're losing in points. Also, the famous PSX Hagrid meme comes from these games. Spells are learned in this dumb game where you just press buttons based on where orbs are. And again, you can't use these spells except for context-sensitive times. Anyway, Hagrid has a quest for us.
Can you fetch me some fire seeds from a rare plant in the forest? The plant lives just beyond the gargoyle gate.
We end up fighting our first boss, a gargoyle pig thing. Then it's on to puzzle solving, platforming. The game's all over the place. I don't know what kind of game to call this. Like, I don't mind it, but I don't even know what the main thing of the game is. We get seeds and we go back to Hagrid. So we hatch a dragon for Hagrid with the seeds. One thing I forgot to mention is how many minigames there are. Not just in the main story, but Nearly Headless Nick has a ton of minigames hidden behind walls for you to do as well. These are optional, but they give you Witches and Wizards history cards.
Here comes Neville. He looks quite upset. Best go and see what he wants. Malfoy stole my Remembrall.
So Longbottom has gone snivelling to you, and you want me to give you his precious Remembrall.
So we have a broomstick boss fight where we ran into him and he throws bombs at us. Also, Harry does talk, but in like a lot of cutscenes, for some reason he says nothing.
You've got my Remembrall back. Thanks, Harry. I'll be able to find my toad now. I remember now. I left Trevor near the herbology class. There are plants there that eat toads.
Mr. Potter.
We have our first Quidditch game, and I honestly don't like it that much. We just fly through rings a lot mainly. But I do love the crowd.
Well now, if it isn't the notorious Mr. Potter. Remember my name, it's Professor Snape. And I know all about you, boy. Is that a library book in your grimy little hand? Library books, by definition, are not to be taken from the library. I'll just confiscate that, thank you.
I'm sorry, what? Library books are for borrowing. What do you mean don't take from the library? That's their purpose. Snape teaches us to make health potions, which is just pressing buttons in the correct order. Snape sends us to grab fireflies, but we end up in a lower sewer area with trolls.
I wasn't expecting you back so soon. Give me those fireflies.
What the fuck did he mean so soon? So now we deal with a character named Peeves, who I don't remember being in the movie. He's kind of like a mischievous little bugger.
Young Potter, you're ugly, but what can we do? Everyone says you belong in a zoo. If you look in a mirror, it surely will crack. The best thing to do is wear a nice sack.
We also get more combat. Finally. The combat in this game is not even the main thing, which feels weird, but it's fine. I'm gonna say platforming and collecting are the main things of this game. Maybe. One of my favorite ones we have to do is sneak around and use the invisibility cloak to not get seen. It's a tiny stealth section like in the film, but like over-exaggerated. And just like in the film, we also have to deal with a troll. This is less of a boss and more of a running thing. Ron is even the one who beats him. You just defend Ron. And then again, back to Quidditch. Now we have to go to Diagon Alley with Hagrid to get medicine for his dragon. Seeing Diagon Alley is pretty cool, and it even has other people there. We have to go to the troll banks, and we have to collect forms, and oh my god, imagine if you had to bank this way in real life. What an awful way to bank. Now it's time for the worst part of this game, collecting your money. If you don't get enough, you have to do it over and over and over again, and the margin for error is high. You can't fuck up much. I spent like 40 minutes here just trying to get my fucking money from the bank. Hate this place. And you gotta do it 3 times. After that, you get to go to the shops and get the ingredients Hagrid needs. But you can't just buy shit. No, you have to pay for them and then collect the ingredients yourself. What kind of bullshit is that? Imagine like ordering a pizza and they're like, yeah, come back and make your own pizza. What? What the fuck? Who would do that? Papa Murphy's? Honestly, Diagon Alley was by far my least favorite part of the whole game. The bank plus the shops. Which is weird because I was most excited to go here. Plus, this fucking pluck the peacock thing is so hard to complete. and I just fucking hate it. Anyway, you go back and start looking for the blood of a unicorn. You have to shoot some turtles in the asshole to kill them. Then you find the unicorn blood and a dark figure was there. Then you gotta play Fluffy a song to put him to sleep. We also have a chess game, sort of like in the film, where you gotta make pieces fight each other to win, and I really love that. After that is just a bunch of trials and a fight with a giant knight, which leads to...
Harry Potter, give me the stone. I know you have it.
Let me speak to him face to face.
But Master, you're not strong enough.
I have strength enough for this. Hand over the stone.
And yeah, now we have our final boss, and it's honestly not that bad. He's powerful and you gotta outsmart him. And then we have a weird choking scene. And that's it. That's the game. Was it actually as bad as the memes say? No, it's actually quite charming and interesting. Was it a good game? Debatable. It's good in like the way the room is good, where it's like so bad it's good. There's a lot of good elements. I enjoyed playing it, and I did enjoy it a lot. I want to say it's good, but it's really just like a bunch of mini games, to be honest. But stick around, subscribe, and like me. Like me. Like my video. You don't gotta like me, because I'll be revealing the second Harry Potter game. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the sequel movie tie-in game to the Philosopher's Stone, using the same engine as well. The first game starts off at Hogwarts, but this one starts off at the Weasleys' household. One huge difference is Harry now talks a lot more and actually responds to characters rather than just staring blankly at them.
Hello, Harry. Welcome to my home. It's not much. I think it's brilliant. Oh dear, Mum's really not happy and I think we should avoid her. But let's climb up onto the roof and jump in through the attic window.
The Weasleys is basically your tutorial, with Ron teaching you how to do things. Our first gameplay experience is catching pipes being thrown. I don't remember if this was in the movie or not, but I doubt it was this crazy. Ginny teaches us about witches and wizards cards again, and Mr. Weasley teaches us some spells we learned from the previous game. Next is a minigame where we throw living creatures. We just chuck these gnomes as if that's totally okay. Then we duel Fred and George, and dueling is honestly a strong suit of the game. It's mainly just hitting each other with magic until someone loses. After that is a lot of platforming and exploring with some minor combat and multiple boss fights against a washing machine for some reason. We spend like 40 minutes at the Weasleys before we finally leave. Then we have a section where we're in a car going to Hogwarts, but a train's coming after us. Though this would be scary, there's multiple times we leave a tunnel and could escape, but the game doesn't let us. You have to grab blue orbs to speed up and wrenches to heal, while trying not to get hit by the train. We crash into a tree, and the tree becomes a boss fight. At last, we're back at Hogwarts, and it looks just like how I remember it from the previous game. And an improvement is now you have 1 bean currency instead of 4. This one has much less mini games and a lot more area exploring, and I 100% approve of this. The mechanics of the game are exactly like the other ones, so no need to talk about them here. There is a ton more combat in this game though, and honestly it feels like a more complete game experience and less of a jump from one minigame to the next. Also, there are still plenty of minigames, and that's not a bad thing. A new thing this game does is now when you go to class, it also is on a timer to make sure you aren't late, with a prize given to you if you beat the record for being the earliest to class. Learning in classes is just like the previous game of pressing the right button at the right time.
Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Herbology does have more after, as you have to fight slugs to save these creepy as fuck mandrakes. We learn about Quidditch, which is mostly the same as last time, and then we duel Ron for fun. But then comes the whole Ron's wand is broken when Malfoy insults Hermione thing. And now he's throwing up slugs, and in this game you have to chase him and follow him as he constantly vomits slugs. And then in such a weird, bizarre way to include this scene, you have this really weird mini-game where you catch Ron's puke for him as he throws up slugs. What a weird choice for gameplay. If I was making a Harry Potter game, nothing like this would have ever came to mind as what people would want in a game. Next, it's Defense Against the Dark Arts class, which we have a new teacher now since the old one was the final battle of the previous game. Nearly Headless Nick is back, but he's no longer doing mini-games. This time, now he's part of the plot, and he's having a Death Day party. It's sort of like a birthday party, but like, you know, the opposite. And the whole point system is back too. Honestly, this game is very similar to the first. Even back to Peeves being an ass at the Death Day party.
So glad you could make it, Harry. May I recommend the mouldy bread and the stinking salmon? Watch out for Peeves, Harry. He's in one of his mischievous moods. Feel free to mingle, Harry. Ron and Hermione are around here somewhere.
Happy Death Day, Nick. I think Ron has a present for you. I'll go and tell him to bring it over.
Now we have to solve the mystery of who the heir of Slytherin is. Hermione sends us to collect ingredients so she can use a spell to see if it's Draco. Hagrid asks us to throw gnomes again, because I guess chucking these dudes is okay. Then we have a Quidditch game where Malfoy and you are both after the snitch. Also, the grabbing the snitch is now a 3D thing rather than a button timing thing. Anyway, so we go to Diagon Alley to get our supplies for Hermione's spell. I love that it's wintry now, and honestly it has more life than it previously did. And we no longer have that awful bank thing to go through, which I'm so thankful for, because I was dreading it. No bank level in this game. We do still have to catch our own ingredients though, but that's not such a big deal in this one. Hermione informs us that we need more ingredients. She's preparing it in the girls' bathroom, something this game will not let you forget.
This is a girl's bathroom. You're not a girl. Get out!
Looking at the paintings this time, they kind of look a little less like characters and more like actual people, making me wonder if it's the people who worked on the game. We have a duel with Malfoy because he's challenging everyone, I guess. We beat him, so he summons a snake. We have to fight it as our dark arts teacher runs away, proving he's unqualified. Harry Potter turns out to be able to talk to snakes, so they're all like, oh my god, he's the heir of Slytherin. So to prove we aren't, we finish the potion and become Crabbe and Goyle, Draco's friends. But like the PS1 really stupid version of them.
Are you two alright? Yeah, unbelievable. Hermione, are you okay?
Fine. I'm fine. Go on without me.
Well, if you're sure, we'll meet you back here later.
We then follow a Slytherin an extra long time while being slippery and slow at the same time.
People seem to think that St. Potter the Mudblood's friend, is the heir of Slytherin. I wish I knew who it really is. I could help them.
You must have some idea who's behind it all.
You know I haven't, Goyle. How many times do I have to tell you?
So then we go back to tell Hermione it's not Draco, but then...
Get out! This is a girls' bathroom. No boys allowed in here.
She's gone mental! She's got flying objects before they hit you!
Well, we apparently missed a dark arts class, so now we have to go to a private lesson. Also, sometimes a voice talks to us, and honestly, it's a bit extreme for a rated E game little kids are gonna be playing.
Let me kill you.
So we have our private lesson, and then a weird Valentine's Day plot.
I've arranged a little surprise for you and the rest of the students at Hogwarts. My friendly card-carrying cupids!
Oh, you, Harry Potter, stay there. I've got a musical message to deliver to you.
Valentine's cards. Ugh! Keep away from me!
The game goes back to the plot of the movie with Tom Riddle being the heir and 10. Then we have another stealth section like in the first game. I really like these. And then we're following spiders to prove Hagrid's innocence in the film. We actually have to fight the spiders, and we eventually fight a boss with a giant spider, which looks creepy as fuck and legitimately made me jump at one point, like when it jumped at me. By far, this is my favorite boss of both the Harry Potter games. More murders keep coming from the heir of Slytherin. We tell our dark arts teacher, and we head to the girls' bathroom to open up the chamber. Then we have to fight Lockhart, as he was in on all this. So we again fight our teacher, a running theme of these games, and I guess the movies. Ginny has been being controlled, so we need to save her. And honestly, without seeing the film, the plot is a bit confusing, with a lot of information either left out or not being told well. So now we solve puzzles, we have some fights, more stealth sections, and at last we find Voldemort. I guess Tom Riddle was his dad, and we have to fight a giant snake. The snake is honestly a really underwhelming final boss fight. Anyway, that's it. Honestly, even though the gameplay is better in this one, the story and overall feel of the first one is better. This one doesn't translate well into the games, and the movies and books are for sure better. But it's still a fun game. I think I'd choose the first one over this one. I was just bored a lot in this one, and in the first one I never felt bored. Oh yeah, I forgot, we did win the House Cup. But now a super cool part of the game is the credits. Because I was fucking right. These people are who worked on the game. How cool is that? That's so amazing. I love that so much. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll play the PS2 versions of these games one day, because they're completely different than the PlayStation. The PlayStation one, the PC one, and the PS2 one, they're all made by like different people, so they're super different.